Now, it makes a lot of sense in my own personal life and what I observe in our world that 3 in 1 versus there's just one Allah, one Buddha, one Confucius. If there is just one, how are we born out of love, seek love more than anything, and eternally have love in physical relationships? The Trinity, by far and away, makes the most sense out of our experience, because you have Father loving Son, Son loving Holy Spirit throughout time. So there's innately within them community and loving each other. And then what happens? We are born in God's image. So we are reflecting God's image to desire community. That's why it was not good for man to be alone. So we came from love. We desire love more than anything. Psychologists say that. That's number one. That's the number one motive. Number one desire for every single person here, even if they don't like people. Number 2 desire is we want time to last forever. We feel like time is too short here. And then the third is fear of death. You give me a worldview that answers those 3 desires that every single person is ultimately driven by, and I will be blown away. I haven't seen it. And we've studied worldviews and religions basically our entire lives. He forced me to, it was strong arm. No, he gave me space to do that and yet encouraged me. And so look at the Trinity in that way. And then my final point of the Trinity is don't turn away. I know a guy who turned away from the faith because he said the Trinity is blasphemous. It just doesn't make any sense. Right? No, turn away from the Christian faith, turn away from theism if you think the evidence does not stack up that God exists. And then secondly, if you don't believe the resurrection occurred. I will turn away from the Christian faith one day if somehow somebody disproves that God exists and that the resurrection didn't occur. For anybody to walk away from the Christian faith because they think God is a moral monster in the Old Testament, because they think that God is anti-gay, or that they think because there's some type of contradiction in their mind of the Trinity, that is ridiculous. Because there's a linchpin to the Christian faith, and it's the resurrection. If that occurred, it doesn't matter what issues you take, whether it's a talking snake and you think that's ridiculous, so I'm going to leave the faith. It doesn't matter. The resurrection ultimately occurred. Then we can work through, is this literal? Is this metaphorical? Why would God act in this way? But it has to be based off of, does God exist? And did the resurrection occur?